Hey, y'all, welcome to the Throttle podcast. I'm your host, Will Earnest, here today with my co-host, Evan Sager.
Hello, y'all.
I'm back from Kentucky. Got to go to the National Corvette Museum and Mammoth Cave National Park, and got to see my Haley. Did not go to Richmond. I wanted to go to Richmond, but it's not like that Richmond really ended up all that well, particularly anyways, but we will get to that later. To some other news now, the Xfinity Series, which they stayed on this year, to give NASCAR time to find a new series partner for next year, they did. It's going to be O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly's Auto Parts. Yeah.
So, I'm curious. I wonder what catchy catchphrase they're going to come up with.
I know. That's what I'm thinking. Like, you get very good Duralast brakes.
Oh, my God. Wow. I avoided that accident just as good as the Duralast brakes from O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Bruh.
Yeah, whatever. And then the other big thing is Matt Crafton is going to retire after this year, and Ty Majeski is going to take over the 88 and take over Menard's sponsorship.
I think it's a good time for him to exit. I mean, with Ram coming back next year.
Yeah.
And I think he's just becoming a family like Carl Edwards did back in 2016 after their Homestead race, which, whew.
Ugh.
Another day.
Yeah. We're getting into Richmond now. I want to start with the big crash with Kyle Busch. I don't know what he was thinking. He just basically, he goes down in turn 3, just beating Briscoe's back bumper off, and then, he spins around, causes a dozen car pile up, and then he just comes down the track and just river hooks Chase into the wall. Ends up being Chase's first DNF of the season, and up to that point, he had only not completed one lap all season.
So. I mean, I think some of it was unintentional. I mean, to begin with that. Chase Briscoe was in a weird spot in between Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch anyways, so that was a racing deal. But it's the Chase Elliott thing for me. Like, why turn back up into the track when you're already wrecked? Just continue straight and go back to pit road. I don't know why you have to wreck more cars. I don't understand his philosophy. I will give him credit though; he did apologize to Chase Elliott. So.
Yeah, it's not intentional. It's just dumb.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's Austin Hill dumb, but it's getting up there.
RCR, but.
RCR, gotta love him.
But speaking of RCR, Dillon gets huge redemption for last year. Granted, last year, with wrecking Logano and Hamlin, that was his fault. But the only reason that happened is because, Stenhouse caused that dumb caution with 2 to go right when Dillon was about to win last year, which set up overtime, and then he got beat on the restart. So
yeah, to be fair, RCR, they had some okay cars. Obviously Austin Dillon's been the best as of late for RCR, but for some reason it's always Richmond for Dillon. Even before last year, he was always good at Richmond.
There's just a few tracks that Dillon has just figured out, and he's just really good at. Obviously Richmond. I think of Darlington,
Daytona.
Yeah,
the draftier style tracks. Besides, Richmond short track. So
I remember Darlington. I think it was like 2020. He finished second to Harvick.
Yeah.
So.
Because I think that was the race I'm thinking the other race that happened in Darlington when Hamlin won and Elliott got right hooked. Busch finished second.
Yeah, that was when Kyle Busch turned Chase Elliott. That was the midweek race.
Mm-hmm. During that weird COVID year.
2020 Southern 500. That was when Truex for some reason just went boom, just did that weird pass and just wrecked. Just wrecked them each other. They weren't like wrecked, but they had like time problems. Yeah, took him out, so that was dumb. I remember that.
Getting back on track now with Richmond.
Even though Dillon led 107 laps for the win, which is the most laps led by the 3 cars since Dale Sr. in the 98 Daytona 500, which is just crazy.
I can't be all surprised, though. Dillon hasn't been always consistent. Think of the 2019 season. Think of the 2021 season. Those years in the Gen 7 or Gen 6 car technically were not the best for Dillon technically. So I feel like he's starting to figure out the next gen car, but at the same time, we got to see consistent results then besides Richmond and Daytona.
I think he was like 15th at the Glen, and then he was like, I think he was 10th at Iowa. So he's strung it together, and then of course Daytona. Obviously Dillon's job is going to be to try and push Kyle Busch into the playoffs, but it's going to be really tricky with RFK because
they need at least one.
They're going to work together to at least get one of them in, but their goal is to be like 2023 where it's Busher and Brad, and they can just control it and then just settle it among themselves.
Yeah.
That's going to be their goal. Even though Dillon had a really nice drive to get redemption for last year's incidents, 2311 just imploded. I mean, Suarez got into Ty Gibbs, who spun Reddick, but
that was just a racing deal on that one.
Yeah, it was just ugly. And then Bubba Wallace with the tire falling off.
I mean, thanks to the 19 teams for putting it back on for him.
I mean, that's twice now this year that's happened because Bell basically had the same thing at Spring at Las Vegas. So, just crazy deal, I guess. But our picks were kind of all over the place. I picked Briscoe, who ended up 13th, the last car in the lead lap, despite that wreck. I really thought, like, when he got spun around and then Kyle Busch ran into him, I thought, like, his toe link was just destroyed. And then, like, I wait 2 seconds later and find out that Chase got slammed head on the wall. So that was not fun. Evan picked Logano, who started last after the crash in practice and drove all the way to 4th.
So I'll take it. I mean, I cut into the points lead.
But a little bit. You cut into the points lead a little bit. I cut 9 points.
I got to hope you wreck this week in Daytona.
I got to hope that Priest flies through the air.
Let's not do that for once, okay?
Please.
Let Priest win a race.
Come on, Priest loves the Jet 2 holiday memes. Come on, he wants to fly through the air.
Yeah, he wants to be the Jet.
Yes, we know secretly he wants to be that little Bites car.
That car is
that thing is gorgeous though.
Fire painting this week with the Jacqueline Steele's car with Stenhouse. I mean, there's a whole bunch of good ones this week.
Zach picked Allmendinger, who qualified pretty well up in third, but just ended up 22nd. And then Mason picked Bell, who only ended up 21st. We didn't have a lot of laps led because the only two that even lead was Bernardo picked Larson, who ended up 6th with 9 laps led, and then Stacy picked Blaney, who ended up 3rd with 39 laps led. But I mean, other than that, like Haley had Hamlin, who ended up 10th, didn't lead any laps, and Colin had Byron, who finished 12th and didn't lead any laps. But because of Chase's wreck, Byron ended up clinching the regular season championship, which anytime you can clinch it early is great. But anytime you can clinch it early and not deal with Daytona, that's even better.
Yeah.
Standings-wise, as we mentioned, Evan cut like 9 points off the points lead. I now lead by just 17. Haley's 146 back, Mason's 202 back, Zach's 232 back, and then, the part-timers and whatnot. But honestly, like, a lot of the standings, they chopped a few points off because even though Briscoe finished 13th, like, I don't think he scored any stage points. So
I don't believe so.
I mean,
either.
pretty much just about everybody took like 10 points off my points lead.
Yeah.
It's whatever. Getting into NHRA now, they were up in Brainerd, Minnesota. It's about like 10 miles from Mason's cabin that they have up there, and he was just up there like this past week. I should have been there, but then again, we initially planned on that trip before I even met Haley. Brittany Force set another new track speed record. I mean, when does it end? Had a pass of 341.25 miles an hour. So not as fast as Sonoma with that 343 mile an hour blast, but
still crazy. Man. Still crazy that cars can go that fast.
Yeah.
I mean, then again, they are modified to everything, but
I mean, Top Fuel dragsters and funny cars, they go 0 to 60 in as fast as it takes them to travel their own length of the damn car.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's just crazy. But they might be wondering, we've talked for weeks, Brittany Force setting all these speed records, and she hasn't won. Did Brittany Force win? No.
She can set fast times, but never can win.
Fast times, but can't get the win. Just can't lock it down. I mean, at least that's consistent, unlike NASCAR in any stretch of the imagination.
Future episode reference right there.
Oh, yeah, future episode. Doug Coletta won in Top Fuel, picked up the 100th Top Fuel win for Coletta Motorsports. Austin Prock has pretty much locked up NHRA's first regular season championship, and the bonus $150,000. I could use that. Picked up his 6th win in funny car, and then Greg Anderson won in pro stock at his home track. He's won like 116 races, and it's just crazy. Looking ahead now, NHRA is off this weekend, but they get to go to their crown jewel, the U.S. Nationals, in a couple weeks, and I get to go. Because I somehow found some cheap $35 ticket. That's like actually in a good spot. It must have been one of those people that like bought it and then they just couldn't
didn't
go
want it anymore.
Or they just like couldn't go. I'm gonna be like, hey, I'll take it. And of course we got Cordova this weekend, And then, so it's kind of a nice 3-week stretch, man, because Cordova this weekend for the World Series of Drag Racing, and then NHRA with U.S. Nationals, and then Gateway the following weekend. So it's a pretty nice stretch for me with photos. And if you're wondering about photos, I will have those Kentucky photos, because I did take some photos at the National Corvette Museum and at Mammoth Cave National Park. So I did take some photos. Yeah. IndyCar's only got a couple races left. Of course, Below's locked up the championship. They had him do media stuff down on Broadway in Nashville ahead of, the season finale at Nashville. But they're at Milwaukee Mile this weekend on Sunday, which is like the only thing that's on Sunday, being that Saturday night is the Cup race at Daytona. NASCAR at Daytona this weekend. Xfinity, of course, Friday night. And Zilich sounds like he's going to be back after having surgery on that collarbone.
I'm very surprised.
Yeah. Especially since, he has 6 wins.
And it's Daytona of all places.
Yeah. Xfinity has 3 races left in the regular season. Daytona Friday night. Portland the following week, which is dumb because, that's the weekend of the Southern 500. I sure hope they change that for next year's schedule. And then Gateway is the regular season finale. Honestly, if I was in his position, I'd probably just sit out probably either all 3 of those races or maybe come back for Gateway. I don't know, but...
Yeah, get healthy before the playoffs just in case, accidentally take a big hit at Daytona.
Yeah.
Which is always a possibility.
I mean, he already missed Texas after his injury battling for the lead at Talladega, and then, he's rattled off, 11 straight top 5s, including 5 wins.
A little crazy.
So, and even in the race he did miss, Larson filled in for him and won. So, I mean, that 88 car is just going crazy. I mean, if the 88 car does not win the Owners' Championship, what? Our picks for Daytona, don't quite got all of them yet. I'm picking Brad Keselowski. I was torn between Brad and Buescher, but I decided to go with Brad because I guess technically all the RFK cars are probably going to need a win to get in anyways, but...
Unless some crazy stuff happens.
I mean, but, the RFK cars are going to work together. They're going to look to work together as Fords and control the race. And, I mean, Haley picked up on that and went with Buescher, and then you picked up on that and went with Priest. And hopefully, by picked up, I mean Priest goes picked up off the ground.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah. And then the only other pick so far is Stacy decided to go with Stenhouse for this race, which, I mean... there's really a lot of good picks you could pick. I mean, it's probably Zach's probably going to pick Kyle Busch, I feel like. And I mean, we haven't even talked about, the front row cars, somebody that's, flying under the radar, like Gilliland, for example. I mean, he hasn't had a good year this year, but, he's still a threat. I mean, really anybody's a threat. I mean, remember last year, what was it? I think it was Harrison Burton got pushed with Parker Retzlaff. That's right.
Oh, Retzlaff? Really?
That was that one time when they were...
Yeah, I was never going to get that one. I was going to say DJ, whatever his name was, next, Kennington.
Yeah. He almost won that race. So, I mean, hell, we could have Cody Ware.
He wouldn't technically qualify, but...
I mean, his only top 5 came, I believe, in the Summer Daytona race, 3 years ago after that big pileup. And, I mean, I think they're talking a bunch more rain. But, I mean, to be honest, even if the forecast said sunny, 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 it's
Daytona.
Florida. It's Daytona Beach, Florida, or just
Anything
Florida in general. I mean, one of these damn years, this Summer Daytona race is going to get hit by a hurricane. I mean, I remember 1998, it was the first year that it was going to be the Pepsi 400 under the lights, and then it got pushed back to October because of the wildfires in Central Florida. And they were using Lake Lloyd at Daytona as a water reservoir. On that note, I wonder if Canada's still burning. With them Canadian wildfires, it's weird. It's weird living in the Midwest. It's either 90 degrees and hot and humid, or and you have 2 tornadoes ripping through, 3 miles from my house and the studio and whatnot, and even closer to Evan's house.
There's gonna be 70 degrees next week.
Yeah. And then, it'll be today it's a derecho ripping through, and then it's we got, couple flash flood emergencies, and then, even the one day it's 75 degrees in the summer. It's all Canadian wildfire smoke. But we're finally done with the Midwest season, pretty much known as Hell's Front Porch, peak corn sweat season. We're now getting into false fall. Yeah. So, we get 70s, get 75 degrees on Monday for the high, and then
90s
second summer, and then actual fall, and people are like, what do you mean, this ain't true? And I'm like,
it very much is.
Yes it is. But I mean, down there it's 40 degrees or 1 inch of snow on the ground, they all lose it. I just can't wait for the day where it's like 42 degrees there and they're just all losing it. And then Haley looks at my forecast and it's like 7 degrees with 2 inches of snow on the ground and like -4 wind chill. And then she's like blowing up my phone. She's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yes, very nice."
Just a little chilly.
It's just a little chilly.
Still
I mean, I'm wearing just like a light jacket. Like it's nothing crazy.
Perfectly shorts weather.
Yeah. But that's all we got for this week's episode of the Throttle podcast. Make sure you check out and listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, on Chilwell Media. Check out the Chilwell Media Instagram where the photography and the podcast stuff's located. I'll have Kentucky photos and stuff. I didn't take that many photos, but, photos are photos. I mean, caves are really cool, though. I mean, they're like 50-some degrees, but...
It's rocks.
He really just threw in the cave pose.
All right.
But that's all we got for this week's episode. Tune into next week where we're sure
someone's gonna be dying.
We're sure certain chaos.
Someone's gonna be flying into the grandstands again.
Ryan Priest.
I think it's gonna be Brad Keselowski.
Ryan Priest.
Or we're gonna have an Austin Dillon 2.0 again, which would be really interesting.
Kyle Busch. There we go.
Sport ender.
Send Kyle Busch into the catch fence.
We're having a sport ender this week.
Yeah, that's all we got for this week's episode of the Throttle podcast, and we'll see y'all next week.